Hello, all you coin aficionados out there, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we have the Canada 10 cents coin from 1945, and a beauty it is. It doesn't look quite like the modern day Canadian 10-cent coins, just in the terms of its setup, but let's take a look at the new one. Okay, so if we look at a newer one, this is 11 years old, but it's still a shinier and different coin. You can see all the packets and ropes and stuff on board, and the way that it kind of wore on this one. This one and this one, pretty much the same image, but with a silver coin like this one, it wears down. So we have this one on the left, which is worth about 8 cents US, and we have this one here that is worth well over $1 US. And that's because in 1945, Canada was still making silver coins. And so we have the silver value alone on this coin on the right is 90 cents. And unfortunately, that's caused, especially when we had to run on silver, caused people to actually melt these down or make them into jewelry or sell them for their silver value. We see that it says Canada at the top, 1945 behind the ship, and 10 cents here. This is a schooner, a Canadian schooner from Nova Scotia. Around the outside of it, we see that there is a beaded rim, which is kind of worn down, and it says 10 cents here. You can see how the S wore off quite a bit here. Now, and this is a very defined date, and there's a reason for that, and that is these coins were made from 1937 until 1947. However, when they put the first issue out in 1937, they put it wasn't quite as defined a date, and it was smaller, and it just wore off, I guess just by being handled in the hand. So you might find a lot of 1937s that you can barely read. So in 38, they went with a bigger, larger, more prominent date, and that's why these ones after 1937 are much easier to read. Has a reeded edge to it, and on the front we see it's George VI, DG, by the grace of God, Rex is king, and Emperor of India. So this coin came out, all versions of this particular coin were made while India was still part of Great Britain. In 1948, India got its independence, and you no longer see the and India Imperator or and Emperor of India anymore on these coins. In fact, you don't see George VI on these coins anymore either, because of course his daughter, Queen Elizabeth II, ascended to the throne and was crowned in 1953. We see down underneath here, we see some initials, and those are the initials of the engraver, and that's Thomas Humphrey Paget. So Thomas Humphrey Paget did this, the uncrowned George VI looking to the left. And then if we look at the back of the coin, we are not going to be able to find the initials of the designer, but this was designed by Emmanuel Otto Hahn, H-A-H-N, designed this boat here, but we're not going to be able to read it on this particular coin. Okay, now in 1945, they made 10.9 million, almost 11 million of these. So these are the most produced, the second most produced, other than 1943, where they made 21.1 million. So chances are, if you find this coin, you're going to find it from 1942, where they made 10 million, 1943, where they made 21 million, or 1945, where they made 11 million. You might also find some from 1940, but they're a little harder to find, even though they made 16 million of them, 16 and a half. They just, I don't know what wore them out, but they wore out very quickly, and so those are a little bit more expensive than 1940 coins. All right, that's all we have today from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comments section.